Hello all, and welcome to the zoo.
Why am I here?
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribe Light, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night live stream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart Inquisitor.
Sanguine.
Skeptock.
I'm Prospero.
Fat Platypus.
Chaosy.
And I'm Della Hazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions. And special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Because we're holding out. Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Minions of the Zoo, the Texcoco side of the arcade. And yes, that's how you pronounce it. Part of the Triple Alliance, so. Haha, waka waka. I'm your host, Adam of Clan Squirt the First. Because I love you, Red. And with me, is. I'm gonna go down the line. Angela.
Hi.
Sanguine.
Good evening all.
And TyrAlexander.
What ups?
I am covering for my friend Johnny Hellcat because unfortunately he has an illness. I hope it wasn't from a blanket that he gained from the white man.
Oh. Hey, our blankets are perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Well, it's only a matter of time before those blankets reach Tenochtitlan. So, for now, we'll have some fun. Wow, how many are we gonna be? Here's the real test. Are we gonna be hit with a YouTube violation with all these puns and jokes?
I hope not.
Somehow I doubt that there's very many Aztecs that are lingering around, getting pissed off at people mentioning the invasion.
Well, Mr. Adam, if they are around and they get pissed off at you, they'll just rip your heart out. They won't even bother going to YouTube.
Well, I don't know. Do they value a plague-ridden heart over a better one?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they value your heart over mine. I'm black.
I don't know. They don't want my heart. Yeah, well. I don't know. Okay, so we'll have a debate on that on the Senate floor.
I know the proper answer of "Are you a god?" is yes.
Yes, always. That is the correct answer.
Yes. Yes. If you're asked if you are a god, the answer is yes. Thank you, Winston Zedmore. Ooh. Hey, hold on. I know. Okay. Look. Like I said, I'm covering for Johnny, so I'm not gonna be running the show as par se as he might. But I heard a clingety clangety. Are you cooking stuff over there, Sanguine?
Just finished cooking.
What'd you cook?
And just plated up my bowl of ramen.
He spanked his noodle.
Well,
So,
come on, man.
I have
Talking about a heart.
miso, shrimp, and bacon ramen with some charred corn, a bit of cabbage that I tossed with some grated garlic and ginger to get some nice flavor, gave it a nice char, splashed in a little bit of shoyu, a little bit of rice vinegar. Then, in the bottom of the bowl, put some chili oil, a bit of chili crisp, a splash of vinegar, as well as I got out my really good double brewed shoyu and gave it a slight bit of char in a skillet. Shoyu has this most amazing umami flavor if you almost burn it. You have to take it right up until that point. You don't want to burn it. The moment that you burn it, it is fucked, and it is a god-awful taste that will poison your entire dish with its flavor.
Hold on, is that because of the percentage of, I guess, what else can you say? Destruction of it? Because, I mean, you don't want, you say burning is bad, but there's got to be, what's the in-between? What is gained from the flavoring of it?
So, as you take it closer and closer to that point where it becomes burnt, you get this deepening, darkening of the flavor of the shoyu. So it becomes more savory. It becomes more concentrated. And just everything starts to mingle a little bit more, starts to punch a little bit more. So it heightens the flavor ridiculously. The moment that it goes from just about burnt to burnt, it becomes bitter as all hell. And once you get that bitter, there's nothing that you can do to fix it. You have to throw it out, start from scratch.
There's just no calling it back, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of where it goes into. Not anybody can just be a cook, right? Some instances you have to have a knowledge and an understanding on what you're doing. Otherwise, you're just burning away the flavor.
Everyone can learn to cook, and it's something that you can develop as you go. But there's always going to be people that are more naturally suited towards it than others. It's just like anything else. It's a mingling of natural ability and then learned skills.
Okay.
The higher your natural ability cap, the better it's going to turn out. Because you've raised everything, so your natural ability cap raises your maximum cap. But in order for that to really matter, you have to be talking about really high natural ability before it really even plays in at all. If you're talking about the average person, it is almost entirely their level of training. It's just that natural ability takes it from what a normal person can do to think of the best chefs in the world. They have that natural ability and then the training on top, bumping everything up even more. Or another example is in weightlifting. You have the vast majority of people. It is how strong they are is determined by how much they work out. But if you have some genetic freak that works out, that's how you get world strongmen.
So like a Bane.
Like
Like
Eddie Hall's one of the strongest world strongmen currently. Eddie Hall does a lot when it comes to training. He also does a lot to help his recovery. But the thing is, he also has a really high natural ability. So the really high natural ability, plus all of his training, plus all of the work that he does in order to help with his recovery, puts him in a class that the average Joe probably won't ever be able to reach. But the average Joe can get pretty fucking strong just by training. Everything in the world is always going to be natural ability plus training. And it's only at really high levels of natural ability or really low levels of natural ability that it actually really matters what your natural ability was. Because someone with a really high natural ability that doesn't do anything, they can be beaten by the average person that didn't have a high natural ability but worked their ass off.
Oh, okay. that just brings to mind this this odd ad that keeps bringing up on my X account. This Liver King guy,
Oh Lord Jesus Christ!
and he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
eating eggs and not wearing shirts. And
The guy who was caught several times not being natural, but is still claiming that he's entirely natural, or he's entirely natural now, despite every indication that he isn't.
yeah, but
So-
I mean, I don't know. I'm just wondering why he keeps popping up on my my timeline. You know, it's I
He's
prefer
playing the
the I
advertising.
prefer the bots where it's like, hey, have you seen this video? And it's like, oh, haha, nice looking lady, and then all of a sudden there's this like dude, and it's like, yeah, I don't want that guy.
Neither do I. There are some things that human beings should not be doing, and he's doing them.
Just to make sure that everyone is operating with the same lexicon when it comes to this, do you guys all know what natural means when it comes to this?
I believe I did.
You want to explain it to her, and if you explain it incorrectly, I'll jump in and correct.
Hold on. Can we do it? Could you say, would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more?
Yes.
Yes, I would.
Okay, so Jerry, you give the explanation, then I'll jump in if there's anything incorrect.
I'm assuming that natural ability means you just have a God-given talent. Like that.
Oh, I meant when we're talking about Liver King, when I said that he sold himself as completely natural.
Oh, you're talking about how he lives as like a Viking and his ancestors, and he eat only raw meat and whatnot and shit. But
natural in this context is a bodybuilding thing. A bodybuilder that is completely natural, they've taken no steroids.
No steroids.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I heard about that.
And Liver King sold himself as being completely natural. It's all due to his raw food diet and him returning to how people are supposed to live, all this bullshit. Turned out, dude was taking steroids. And a lot of steroids.
Yeah, didn't it put him in the hospital?
Yep, and he pissed hot. He got tested. Definitely on steroids.
Okay, how do these people like get the funds to at least get to this point?
Advertising.
How the
if
a lot of
if
them
you
are like trainers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So pay
Crazy.
money to teach them to do what they do.
I mean, and some of it is advertising. Like Liver King at some point had to be, racking in hundreds of thousands of, if not millions of views. So advertisers are going to throw a shit ton of money behind him to get eyeballs on their shit.
And he sold it as if he could teach you how to become just as big as he was.
Yes.
So he was one of those health gurus.
He's the Jack Murphy of the health world.
Yep.
I mean, look, and then you'll find the people who are like, hey, if he found a market for it and he's successful, why are you bothering? Well, because he's harming people. Like, where's...
No, it's not that he's harming people. It's not that he's harming people. It's that he's playing people for sex. He's saying that if you do what I've done the way I've done it, you can get my results. But in reality,
he's leaving out the important part of, if you do what I've done and you've taken all of the substances in the dosages that I've done, But he leaves out the
Exactly.
fact that he's dosed himself to all hell. So he
Yes.
sells himself as this is completely natural. This is a physique that most people can get. There's some people that they have freak biology, and they can achieve those results without any drugs. He couldn't. The vast majority of people can't. And that's where the issue comes in for me. When he's telling people, you can get these results if you eat raw food, if you take this diet,
Dude, raw food.
and he's completely leaving out. And if you take this entire pharmacy of anabolic steroids.
Plus a whole shit ton of other shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude was eating like eggs, just like popping them in his mouth. I don't know,
Yep.
man. Like,
And a lot of that is fairly classic weightlifting stuff where you've seen movies. Think of the number of times that someone is training for something.
Eggs. But it's
Yep,
weird
they'll-
watching a dude, a monster man looking, just grabbing eggs from a stock and eating it. That's like, does he have second rows of teeth? I think this is a mighty man of legend. I don't know. We should be
I know
aware of
he
this
must
person.
shit like a goddamn
Do we really have to do that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Wait, what? I didn't catch it. What did? No.
The shit was a bit too far.
Okay, never mind.
But
The shit was a bit too far.
No, because I gotta remember I'm still on Johnny's show, so I don't wanna get him flagged for stupid shit I say. So.
No, I just don't want to hurl on stream. Thanks.
Oh.
I'm
But
sorry.
Yeah, like I said, the part that drives me crazy is him selling a bill of goods that's bullshit.
I mean, but he's like every other snake oil salesman.
Yep.
You know, P.T. Barnum said, "A sucker is born every second, and if you can take their money, then you deserve it." There you go.
That's right.
And I'd be perfectly fine if he was being completely honest. There are people that are genetic anomalies, and they do get that way through just a diet and workout regime, nothing else. And if it was one of them going, I got this body through this diet and this workout regime, and if you do the same, then you can get the same results. No, they can't, but at least that person's being honest. They actually did get it through that. The part that always pisses me off is when it's, I did XYZ, leaving out the important part that they did. That actually allowed them to get the results that they got. And if you do everything except the actual part that gave me these results, you can get the same result. No, you're just fucking lying. That's the part that drives me crazy. If it was honest grift, fine. It's the dishonesty that makes me go, fuck you.
Yeah, the grift kind of gets, that's where it hits a point, right?
Like, all right, so
especially when it's something like that, something where you can really seriously fuck up your body doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, side tangent really quick. Do you remember the guy that was in the cult that had the guys injecting like spackle into their nuts and their biceps and shit? Oh man, let me see if I can find.
Oh, are you talking the synthol biceps and shit like that?
Yeah, like they were injected like not cement but spackle into. They just have ridiculous looking biceps.
Synthol was the one that I know of.
I think it was that.
Yeah, the synthol biceps where they look like water balloon biceps because
yeah, they look like what was the wrestler's name? Big Papa Pump. Oh God. Shit. can't remember the wrestler's name, but I know that was his nickname, Big Papa Pump. Big Papa Pump.
But yeah, I remember the synthol biceps.
Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner, there it is. Thank you. If you look at his muscles, they look ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah, it was a bunch of people trying to get to insane appearances without any of the work. Like I said, there are people that can get absolutely enormous arms. Hell, when I was working out consistently, I'm a bit of a genetic anomaly when it comes to hypertrophy. So when I was lifting out consistently and ridiculously, I got to 24, 26-inch biceps. Or not just biceps, biceps and triceps. 24, 26-inch arms. Which, a lot of people, their thighs aren't that big.
Damn.
I'm just weird. I pack on muscle. Most people, they won't get arms that size. They'll top out much smaller. But there are some people that will be able to get that. The people doing synthol were trying to look like they got those results through working out. But it was complete vanity. It was completely empty. They weren't strong. They weren't trained. All they did was they went in and they injected a muscle, blowing it up like a balloon.
Yeah, and didn't it kill a few people?
There's health issues when it comes to synthol. Because it causes strain on the heart. It causes strain on a bunch of things here. Let me just pull up the issues. So it does nerve damage. It can do arterial blockages. Especially, it ends up blocking the pulmonary artery a lot, which is the one that runs from the heart to the lungs. It can induce heart attacks. It can induce strokes. And then also, anytime that the skin is punctured, you have an infection risk.
Fuck that shit.
So it had infection complications, strokes, heart attacks, pulmonary artery clogs, nerve damages, and a shit ton of other things besides. Because those are just the most major issues. There are additional issues beside those. And the infection, like I said, anytime that you have the skin punctured, there's an infection risk. But there's also the infection risk if the synthol was not properly processed and handled, then it could have bacteria, viruses, shit like that, in the actual synthol. So when that got injected into your muscle, you just injected the bacteria straight into your arm.
I swear all I'm hearing is
death.
You know all of these wonderful things that can happen to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just hear, yeah, but I'll look great when they bury me.
Angel, I think I hear that too.
I mean, if they bury you, I mean, you don't have the ultimate choice. They might just be like, oh, you know what? We can't bury them. We're going to have to cremate you. And here's a box. There you go.
Also,
With
the
all
thing
of that
is
stuff in them, you might not be able to cremate them. It might be toxic fumes.
Oh,
the thing is that because it's done through artificial means, these people just look ridiculous. They don't look like they're jacked. They don't look like they're at all normal. They look
mutated.
They look mutated. They look like they have cancerous growths beneath their skin.
That's what I thought. That's exactly. They look like Papa, and that's not good.
It's literally just another form of dysmorphia where you think you look better because you're bigger, but you actually just look freaking weird.
Which Do you guys know what demographic or what group of people, let me phrase it that way, what group of people have the highest rate of the most severe dysmorphia?
Teenagers.
No.
Older men.
No.
What?
Who?
So a lot of people, when they hear that question, they'll think of, oh, it'll be trans people, right? No, it's not trans people. They'll go for teenagers. That's another common one. Nope. Bodybuilders.
Makes sense.
Bodybuilders have the highest rate of the most severe forms of dysmorphia.
What do you mean,
and
like
it's part of
scoliosis, or what are you talking about?
Dysmorphia is when you look in a mirror and what you see in the mirror is not what is actually there.
Oh.
You will look at yourself, and so anorexia is often caused
and
by...
And bulimia, too.
Yep, they're caused by dysmorphia quite often, where you'll look in the mirror and you'll go, I am the fattest thing on earth. Even if you can see every bone in your body, you'll still look in the mirror and go, that's a lard ass I'm looking at.
Then I'm the
my
fucking biggest bodybuilder on the earth. Because that's my every expression when I look in a mirror.
When it comes to bodybuilders, bodybuilders have some of the most severe, if not the most severe, rate and severity of dysmorphia, which is why a lot of these issues come in with bodybuilders, where when you get to a certain level of bodybuilding, a lot of them use various steroids. And a lot of them will do things in order to look bigger, look stronger. That's where synthol first started coming in. That's where steroids started coming in. And that's also why a lot of people, when they hit that point, they're just constantly in the gym because I need to get bigger. I need to get bigger. I need to look stronger. I look weak, and it's the most yoked motherfucker that you can imagine. Yoked meaning ridiculously large muscles. It'll be the most yoked motherfucker, and he will look at himself in the mirror and he'll go, that's a toothpick.
You know, I wish we were able to, as a species, accept who we are. What's the word I'm looking for? Half of the issues come from poor self-image. You know, anorexia, bulimia, shit like that. Poor self-image. Accept the things you can't change and change the things you can't accept.
See, I'm of a mind where...
I mean, I wish I was a little bit taller.
Well, when you're 5'5", I guess you would want to be taller.
I wish I was a baller.
I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah. If I had a girl in a minute, I would call her.
That's true.
But
wow.
I'm perfectly fine with people, when it's reasonable, looking in the mirror and going, I don't like this about myself. But the key is being rooted in reality. And I have a bit of trouble with this because, well, I lost 80 pounds within a year or two, not terribly long ago.
Hey,
and
congrats.
I still look at myself and I still go, I'm big. But I know in my mind, I am not as big as I think I am, because here's the objective measures that tell me I am not.
But you still lost the weight. I mean, that's...
Oh, yeah. And that's one of the objective measures. And that's something that needs to be stressed more. Make sure that you have objective measures. Don't just go for how you think you look. Because if you went from a 3XL shirt to a large, you lost a fuck ton of weight.
Shit. 2016, not 2016, started the pandemic, 2019, around that time frame.
Yep.
I was almost 400 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
I am I am 270.
Yep.
Right now. 270, 272, I hover between 266 and 270.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
You
take
know,
that.
So I get it.
Sir. Yeah.
That's good fucking work, yeah.
That is wow.
I understand when someone looks in the mirror and they go, I don't like this aspect about myself. But always make sure that you have an objective measure. That it isn't just, well, I feel XYZ. Because if it's just I feel XYZ, I feel like I'm not strong enough. Come up with an objective measure. Come up with what strong enough is before you just start trying to make yourself stronger. Because if you don't set a goal, if you don't have that standard, you're just going to constantly see that standard get moved out and out and out. And sometimes that can be good if you're continuing to progress. Sometimes that can be really damaging if you aren't able to go, well, I am not able to lift X weight, but I have to remember that I wasn't able to lift this weight this long ago, and I've worked my way up to this. Have some semblance of awareness from where you began and how much progress you've made, because that does a fuck ton of good for you. Just realizing from what humble means you started. And all of the work that you've done up to the point that you currently are.
Yep.
Now we're teaching humility. Wow, what a righteous show we're doing.
It's not so much humility.
Thursday show?
It's not so much humility. It's teaching pride to my measure. Because
I wouldn't say pride. But...
Oh, I would absolutely say pride. The thing is that everyone is very familiar with pride the sin.
Yes.
But there's pride the virtue that a lot of people overlook. And a lot of people are so shit scared of being prideful in the sinful way, in the extreme way. Whereas pride is a virtue when done correctly. When a lot of people will phrase it as confidence, but confidence is just a measure of pride. When you know what you're able to do, and you can do it. It's important to have pride in oneself. Not too much pride, but have pride all the same. And like I said, one of the things that you do in order to develop pride is, if you don't feel proud of yourself, if you don't feel proud of any of the accomplishments that you've made thus far, set goals. And when you set a goal, it isn't just that you go for something nebulous. When you set a goal, you set it for something that is completely within your power. So don't, if you want to, for instance, become a streamer or something like that. Don't make your goal, I want to be famous. That's a shit goal.
Yes.
That's never a good goal anyway.
You can make a big goal. So you have big goals and small goals, ideally. You can make a big goal to have X number of subscribers. But that isn't the goal that you're normally measuring yourself against. What you measure yourself against are your small goals. Your small goals are time dependent and entirely within your control. So a good small goal, if you want to become a streamer and you want to have X number of subscribers as your big goal, is I will stream X number of days a week for X hours. Because that is entirely within your control. You decide when you go live. You decide how long you're live. You can set your goal to, I will learn X skill in this amount of time and I will figure out how to do it. So it could be editing videos. And one of your sub goals of that will be, I'll spend this amount of time for editing videos every day or every week, whatever time scale you want. You have to have a time scale. It has to be within your control, and then you actually have to work for it. And the thing is that each time that you set one of these goals and you achieve it, you get a sense of, fuck yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
And it can be something really small. This is, when you look back at old Jordan Peterson ends up talking about this a fair bit. That's the clean your room, make your bed, shit like that. It's setting small goals that are things that to other people might be easily obtained, but to others they aren't. So you set those goals, and you set your goals not based on what is impressive to other people, but what is difficult for you to do. You want your goals to be difficult, but not impossible. And each time that you achieve them, you get more of a sense of yourself. You get more confidence in yourself, which is pride the virtue.
Okay. I swear there was a start point of this. Although I can interject with a
The start
viewpoint.
point was the ramen.
Ramen noodles?
But always the food. Always.
Like,
no, the start point was the Liver King.
Oh, right. And right. Okay. So well, I did run across a bit where it was somebody speaking about I think it was Twitch is no longer pushing things up into the up, and then there was a conversation about uh well, if you want people to watch your show, you need to be more entertaining or provide something that people are going to watch. And I think um, this kind of coincides with what you're speaking of. I mean, yeah, if you're going to provide something that people are interested in, they're going to do it. Um, I mean, with the Liver King, this was an ad, apparently. I had to block it.
Mm-hmm.
But, um, but yeah.
And he's selling something that a lot of people want. A lot of people want to look better. A lot of people want to feel stronger. A lot of people want to be healthier. And he's tapping into that, just he's doing so dishonestly.
Well, yeah, that aside, what I'm talking about is the people in terms of providing content. And I mean, that's what we're doing right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's how I've always looked at it. Like, you want to do your best, performative wise, and provide some good content for people that, they'd want to hang out. And hey, even me as a substitute, I'd hope I'm providing enough entertainment to to get the usual Thursday audience, because this is not my usual audience,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they probably don't. Tyr, we're gonna try and play some Smash Brothers later, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Thursday night show audience is they're probably like, what the hell is Smash Brothers? Or they want to play Smash Brothers, but who knows? It's all
Johnny tends to run a fairly eclectic show.
You gotta remember, Johnny's a cat, so his brain is all over the place.
Yeah.
Is that a Boondock Saints reference?
No, maybe. Again,
it isn't a normal Thursday unless there's at least one moment of referencing movies, potentially pulling it up on IMDb.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Hold on. We can do that. We'll just play along.
Oh.
Okay, so he... Oh, I spilled my
Boondock was a great movie, and I wish they would do a 3.
Okay,
Oh.
Well,
so...
to give you a reason to pull up IMDb, the guy who played Rocco did a fantastic job. Does anyone know who played Rocco?
No, I don't know.
Boondock Saints? Let's quickly look it up.
Rocco, Boondock Saints.
Yeah, Rocco and Boondock Saints.
And he played what in the what?
Rocco, the kind of coked up friend.
Really, David Del Rocco. That's his name. He played himself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he did a fantastic job of playing that character. He was the coked up friend that couldn't shoot for shit in Boondock Saints.
And
the friend of the two brothers. Yeah. He was the one who actually shot the cat. And made the cat's mind all over the place.
All over the place. Oh, man.
I love the Boondock Saints. That is such a fucking good movie.
It was a firefight!
And that's one of the fucking weird but amazing characters.
Willem Dafoe kicked the fuck out of him.
Oh, yeah. And just the way that character was built. Oh, he's a really good detective. Anything else? He's a transvestite. That came out of left fucking field.
Yes, that did come out of left field. Fucking fairy.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just a fantastic movie where everyone was in the right part for that movie to work. Billy Connolly being the father just fucking worked. The two brothers being played by Norman Reedus and Sean Patrick Flannery just fucking worked. And William Dafoe, like you said, he owned that character. You believed him being this brilliant fucking FBI detective that was also a just weird transvestite.
I feel he was underutilized and two, like having him appear at the end was such a fucking waste.
Well, they set up Bill Connolly, and it was mainly the tease for 2.
No, I'm talking about at the end of the movie for the second movie where he appears on the dock and talks about rescue. What they should have done was have the fake death in the movie, and then at the end reveal, oh, he's alive, and he just went underground to set up like the organization. That's what that should have been. And it could also play the back. You could have kept the 3 other agents alive instead of having that being the incident that sparks when they kill the assassin in the bar. Because he killed their friend, and that should have been one more reason. Like, you killed Willem Dafoe's character, or he faked his death, and you look like you did it. And we really want to kill you. But you killed him too. So you're really going to die. Such a good movie, though. Ding dong, motherfuckers. Ding dong.
It's one of those classics that just everything worked. And it worked almost too fucking well. Which was why Boondock Saints 2 had more of a lukewarm reception. It wasn't a bad movie. It's just the first one
was
so damn good, yeah. And it's hard to follow up a movie like that.
Oh, yeah.
There's only a handful of movies that are able to follow up an original that is that damn good.
Oh man, again, I hope if they do a 3, I want Norman Reedus to come back. I want Sean Patrick to come back. I want Romeo's character to come back. Man,
pretty much everyone that didn't die should come back.
Yeah, pretty much everybody that didn't die should come back, and then have how they had the cameo with Rocco and the other agent in the dream sequence when they needed a pep talk.
Mm-hmm.
It should be just like every time they need a pep talk, they see Rocco. No, it's not Rocco delivering the speech. It's the agent that died in the movie, and then Rocco's there too with the cat plus their father.
So like if he's there with the cat, he has to kill the cat accidentally again.
Yes, he should. Look, this what should happen. The agent is talking to them, trying to give them the pep talk. The cat is messing with Rocco, and Rocco shoots the cat, and they look at him and go, "What? Can't die again."
It has 9 lives.
It's down to 2. It's down to 7.
Ah. And that way, Johnny has a way of getting into the next one after that.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Did you see Johnny's first role? I watched it. I watched it earlier. Tales from the was it Tales from the Crypt? Not Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Dark Side.
I was about to say, are you talking about the old show that? What channel did Tales from the Crypt run on again?
HBO. But no, I'm talking about Tales from the Dark Side.
I have not seen that one.
Yeah, what's that?
Lord, let me put. So this I found this, and I was clearly like, and that's both Johnny and Willard Forge. Willard Forge is Johnny's stunt double.
Okay.
Wait, he has a stunt double?
Yeah.
Yes.
How can he afford a stunt double? Hold on. And where did he get one? Because I might need one.
Well, if you're forging a stunt double, that requires a lot of robotics knowledge.
Wait. So let me make sure it's just so y'all can see it in its full glory. So I'm put 2 clips in chat, so y'all can see the scene I'm talking about. This is Johnny's starring role, mind you, like young Johnny Hellcat. Fresh
breakout role.
Breakout role. That's it. That's the first clip. Now y'all look at that one. Look at it in the entirety. It's only 2 minutes 10 seconds. And where's the other clip? Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, and it's from 1990. Okay, then.
If you know this movie, you know what I'm talking about. I can't find. Let me see if I gotta put it in movie clip.
Okay, this is another good example of Thursday quick IMDbing, because this guy looks way too fucking familiar.
All right, here it is. This is Willard Forge's scene, and it's beautifully done. You can really see Willard Forge's acting range, and I think you guys will love it. Second clip. There you go. Both of their breakout roles, beautifully done.
Oh.
Because the guy that swallows that pussy whole looks...
He is. I can't remember his name. Tales from the Dark Side.
Really familiar.
The movie. cat from hell. William Hickey. No, that's not William Hickey. David Johnson.
David Johnson? Okay.
Johnson, sorry.
Yeah. I think I've seen him in something before. I just don't know what the fuck I've seen him in.
He was a rock star, and I don't think he has a filmography. Maybe just solo career. He was Ding Dong Daddy in Teen Titans.
Well, that would explain knowing his name or knowing his voice, but not his face. His face looks familiar.
He was in Let's Ride. The Adventures of Pete and Pete. He had appeared in that series.
Whoa! He was in Pete and Pete.
Yeah, The Adventures of Pete and Pete. He was in like an episode.
This guy is actually a character actor.
He was in Mr. Nanny.
That might be it.
Car 54.
It might be that I'm remembering him from Mr. Nanny.
Free Jet.
Christmas Vacation.
Oh, he was in Christmas Vacation as well?
Yeah, he was like the old guy with the cigar.
Okay.
The boss?
Yeah, he has a huge filmography.
Yeah,
I
like I
can't
said,
remember if he's the boss, but his cigar is the reason that the camper blows up.
Oh, you know where he's from? He's from Scrooge. He's the taxi driver.
Okay, yes. That's
There he is.
His face just looks so fucking familiar. That would explain it. Okay.
He's the taxi driver. There it is.
He's not.
He is. Go to IMDb.
I know the actor that is the taxi driver from Scrooged.
He is David Johnson. It said I'm at IMDb, The Ghost of Christmas Past, the taxi driver.
Oh, okay. We're talking about different people.
Ooh.
I thought you said William Hickey.
No, I was talking about. I said David Johnson. William Hickey is a older actor. He played the.
He's the one that was in Christmas Vacation.
Oh, that's probably what we got where we're crossing lines. Sorry, Angela, my bad.
I was like going. The last thing I heard you say was William Hickey.
I'm sorry. He was in
There
Cats
was a lot
Don't
of
Dance.
crosstalk going on, so.
Yeah, he was in Mr. Nanny. He was in Free Jack. But yeah, he's the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Okay.
I knew that face looked familiar the moment I saw it. But like I said, those are Johnny and Willa Forge's breakout roles. A young Johnny Hellcat, a young Willa Forge as a stunt double. Perfect.
Wow.
I think that is the singer from the New York Dolls. Let me look it up again.
I'm telling you,
Yep, he is the singer from the New York Dolls.
Nope.
I would just replying to Green Badger.
For a moment there, I missaw what the guy was holding in his hand, and I was going, did the old dude just pull a fucking grenade out of his...
No, he did pull a grenade out of his pocket.
Yeah, it looked like he pulled a grenade, and then I realized, oh, it's a pill bottle. Just the way that he was holding it in his hand, it looked like it might have been a grenade, and I'm going, the fuck? This is why you don't try to possess an old World War II vet. He just pulls a grenade out of fucking nowhere.
Just takes everybody out with him.
Oh, damn, and a grenade, too. You don't want to lose a limb.
You're trying to come out and attack me? I dealt with the Japs. Fuck you.
Everybody, I'll take everybody out with me.
Yeah, right? And everybody's going with me. Holy shit.
Ah, man, but you know, this one horror was good.
See, the problem that I have with modern horror is modern horror tends to be a lot of gross out horror.
Yes.
Let's make this traumatizing to look at rather than let's make this actually scary. And not only is it let's make this traumatizing to look at rather than let's make this scary, it's also let's do a lot of jump scares because it makes you go, that means that we're scaring you? No. If you want proper horror, make me feel dread.
It's this guy.
Wait, what?
It's this guy called Possum Reviews, and he's a YouTuber, and he said the difference between a jump scare and actual horror is a jump scare stays with you for a second. Real fear and horror stays with you at the end of the night. Like, you don't check your bed sheets and under your bed for a jump scare.
Yep.
I don't mind jump scares if they're earned.
Yeah, if they're earned, fantastic. But
like, okay, like Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have the scene. It builds horror and fear, and so the scene in the boat where Richard Dreyfuss has the shark's tooth, and turns around and the shark's there. That is totally earned. You've had all of the buildup and the tension, and
yeah, but
it's
modern
just
horrors
beautifully done.
But that's the difference between modern horrors, where a jump scare is, oh, there hasn't been any action in like 5 minutes. Jump scare.
Yep. Whereas, like I said, I want to feel dread. I want to feel like everything is fucking suspect. I have no clue what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, but I know that it scares the shit out of me. I want that. I don't just want a jump scare. I don't just want it being, oh, look at that. He ripped out this person's guts. No, I want it to be, I don't know. That's one of the reasons why Lovecraft is so effective.
Sanguine, wait a second. Angela, Hereditary. Exactly. Hereditary, no jump scares in that movie. Well, very few jump scares, and it builds up perfectly.
Yep. I want it to be slow. I want it to be creeping. I want it to focus on my dread rather than just getting me to go because something suddenly happened. Which, like I said, that's the reason why Lovecraft is as revered when it comes to horror.
Well, Lovecraft played on two primal fears: the fear of the unknown and the fear that you're small.
Yep.
And you can't really surmount the fear of the unknown, and you can't overcome the fear that you're small. And by small, I mean that at any given moment, we could be snuffed out by any amount of cosmic horror.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are beings that could accidentally kill us.
and not
know?
even realize it. That's
Exactly.
the thing. It wasn't just that, well, they can snuff you out at a moment's notice. It was they could snuff you out at a moment's notice and never realize anything changed.
Yes. And they could do it by accident. Like,
Yep.
The great outer gods. Oh, they sneezed the wrong way and half the universe is gone.
Yep.
But they keep on trucking.
Yep. It's again that everything is wrong. Everything is distorted. I don't like this. Get me out. Why is this happening? Dread. Not just a scare here and there, but it makes me fear
Afraid.
everything.
And another theme he played with was no matter what you do, no matter how much you try to claw against the world, you will never win. Oh, you get small reprieves, you get small breaks, but in the end, it always comes. You don't defeat the evil. There's no defeating it. It will always come back.
Yep, which is the thing that made it so that Call of Cthulhu, the tabletop game, never hit that level of fear that a Lovecraft story would hit, because Call of Cthulhu, in order to be a tabletop that you could play week after week after
You
week,
had to win.
you had to feel like you could win at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
And there were things that, if you were lucky enough when it came to your rolls, you could do. So I had a character in a Call of Cthulhu game that one of my friends was running, where my character ended up being the most impervious to fucking everything character in existence just by dint of his rolls. And
Damn.
it was in the most obscenely funny way, because in Call of Cthulhu, the way that it works is the more your character understands, the more likely they are to be scared of fucking everything.
And the crazier they get.
Yep, the less your character understands, the less likely they are to be afraid, but the more they're in over their head, and the less likely they are to actually succeed. My character, just due to the fucking rolls I had, understood everything and looked at it like, well, you shouldn't exist. I'm going to remove you now. Which made that character fun as hell to play, but it made it so that there was really no fear, because when there was this weird lich creature that was mind controlling the teammates of my guy looked at it and went, "You're a boogie. I'm going to end you." Just started fist fighting the motherfucker out of nowhere. Won in a fist fight because rolls. And he was fucked up in the fight, but he survived. He overcame the lich-like creature, just beating it to a pulp and then smashing a lantern on it and himself so that they're both engulfed in flames. Turns around to his teammates and goes, "If either of you can understand me currently, this is what's going on. Get the fuck out of here. This thing's dying with me." Just tied up the big bad.
Rod Corpse in chat said, a really good horror movie has the characters do everything right and still fail.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's where horror movies get it wrong constantly. Because they'll have the characters do everything wrong. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that they have to do everything right, but they have to do enough right.
They have to hit enough check boxes of right.
They can have it be that they get everything right up until the very end, and then rather than turning left, they turned right. That's fine. But in horror movies, it is so often that they do everything wrong. And it just doesn't end in it being scary. It ends in you going, well, they were fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, they've tried it a few times before, but who's to say that if they don't try it again now, they might strike gold?
The communist method, I see.
We've tried to summon this ancient spirit to help us a trillion times. Every trillion time, it always destroyed down civilization. But you know what? This one time it'll help.
Oh.
So wait,
Like I
this
said,
one
Green Badger.
time? Are you sure?
Oh, God.
No, I was Mr. Adams said something. I was like, what did you say?
Oh, I said, is this gonna be the time?
That 100 millionth in one. That would be the time.
Oh.
Green Badger, I had more fear when I played Traveler. Have any of you ever heard of Traveler, by the way?
God, I hate Traveler. I like the concept of Traveler, and I want to play it just for the sheer, oh my god, what the hell did I create situation.
So, for those who don't know Traveler, Traveler's a tabletop game that you can die in character creation.
Yes.
What?
Can I explain it? Let me explain. Please say, let me explain it. All right. So instead of in basic tabletop RPGs like D&D, you choose a class, you choose a background, you choose a race and whatnot, right? Well, in Traveler, all that shit is random. Oh, you want to be a noble and have this? You better hope your rolls are good, because you could start off as a noble, get some really shitty rolls, and end up a poor man before the game even starts.
You can also end up being 80-something by the time that the game starts, just because of your fucking rolls. You can end up dying of a heart attack randomly. You can end up having been consumed by cannibals. There's a shit ton of things that can happen in character creation. And it's glorious.
And people
again, you better hope those rolls.
How
you can
does a game start if?
Yeah.
You start
so
over.
The way that it works is when you're rolling up your character for Traveler, it starts off and you roll up your stats. And that gives you your base stats. You don't choose a class. What happens is that you roll. And depending on the result of that roll, you have just joined the Galactic Navy, the Galactic Army, the Galactic Marines, or independent traders. I think there's also was a addition of mercenaries.
I think that was in supplements, yes.
Yep. So you start with rolling to see which of those you end up in, which is influenced by the stats that you rolled. Because the higher your social ranking that you rolled is, the higher chance that you'll get in the Navy.
Oh.
So you roll to see which of those branches you get into, and then you roll your career.
And that's when shit starts to go off the walls.
And every single time that you roll your career, there is a chance you fucking died.
Or you fuck up and get fired, and now you gotta take something else.
Yep. So you can die, you can get fired, or you can get stats.
Or you can get
boosts your
debuffs.
Character massively, or you can get debuffs. So every time is literally a roll of the dice to see what you get. But there's enough reward, and the rewards are good enough that you kind of want to go for it. See where this goes. But every roll takes a certain number of years, determined by the result of that roll. So if you have one of the shortest times, it's a year or two, will be gone from doing that roll. If you get one of the good but not great rolls, you can have like 5 years of your life just taken up by whatever the fuck just happened in character creation, which is how you can end up with an 80-something-year-old.
Yeah.
It's a space game, and it seems like fun, but I can't find people to play with me.
It is ridiculous. It is fun. I've played it before, but I've had more legitimate fear rolling up characters in Traveler than I have playing an entire game of Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, wow.
And the shit that your character can do is limited to whatever stats you get through your weird character creation history. And then what you develop as the character goes and how well your rolls turn out. It is fantastic. I love that game. I had a character that was like 97 by the time character creation ended. But he was a brilliant commander and a rather capable fencer.
Okay.
So he couldn't shoot for shit. Everyone else in the party could, but he was the commander. So there was one part which I remember vividly because it was just such a fucking good character moment of the party's headed towards something. My character realizes partway there, this is an ambush, by the way. So he starts calling the shots for the rest of the party, going, okay, we're going to disembark at this point. Then you guys get into these points of cover because the enemies will be here, 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 and here. You're going to start looking for the enemies as I just start walking down the road. When you find an enemy, let me know. So my character's just walking down the road, this old man with his cane, looking feeble as shit, and purposefully looking feeble as shit the entire time that he's walking. And the rest of the party starts looking in the areas that my character was able to figure out the enemies would be. Sure as shit, there's someone there each time. So he starts calling all of the shots that they'll take, working them from the very back of the enemy group to the front of the enemy group.
Wow.
None of the enemy realize what's happening until like 75% plus of the enemy have already fucking died. 3 of the enemies just jump off the top of buildings because fuck this shit. This guy's scaring the ever-living hell out of us because they just see an old man walking down the road, not giving a shit about what's happening, and they just found out 75% of the men are dead. They have no clue how their men died. They have no clue where the shots came from, or if there were even shots, if this old dude somehow poisoned people. They just know this old dude who they were sent to ambush is walking down a road like nothing's fucking happening in the middle of a desert where there's no sign that anyone has been in a long period of time. It was such a glorious role-playing moment. And it made that character feel like the biggest badass. And the best part was, like I said, 3 of them jumped to their death in order not to deal with him. Then a bunch of them surrendered. One of them, realizing that he had just been walking down this road alone, decides that he's going to have a go at this like 97-year-old man. So he takes a swing, gets stabbed through the throat by his cane sword. Old dude just sheathes it, sets his hands down again, and goes, anyone else want to have a go? It's one of those games where everything is possible, and it is amazing.
Yes.
Like I said, though, you will roll up at least 5 or 6 characters before you find one even remotely usable or survived.
Wow.
Because you'll have characters that they get absolutely no stats throughout their entire backstory.
Oh, wow.
You'll have characters that get stats out the ass and then just suddenly fucking die. You'll have characters that it's like, hey, congratulations, you just joined the Imperial Navy. Roll your first term of service. Your ship exploded.
And you're dead. Goodbye.
And each time that you age up, once you hit a certain age, not only do you have to roll your military service, which could end up killing you, but you also have to roll, did you suffer a heart attack this year?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it. It is the most complex character creation that I've ever seen. Just
It does sound
absolutely
fantastic,
ridiculousness.
though.
Oh yeah, it is.
I mean, especially if you're one of those people where character creation is your favorite part.
Yep. Because the entire time, you're getting elements of your character's story, but you get to explain what happened in between those elements. And if your character... Because you can get, like, 12 different moments of your character doing something absolutely ridiculous, and then finally getting a promotion. Because after every event, you get to see if you're promoted, and if your role is bad, you just don't get promoted despite being the hero time and time again. So you have to come up with an explanation of why your character just wasn't getting promoted. Were you turning down promotions? Did you piss off one of the admirals? What the hell's happened? Why is it that you have become the hero of this group like 13 times before someone finally went, you know what? Sergeant should become a lieutenant.
What?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, it's
That
glorious.
sounds so fun.
It is so much fun. It is absolutely ridiculous. And it's one of those moments where... So, are you familiar with the idea that sometimes restrictions can actually increase creativity?
Yes. All right, so hold on really quick. Something. I suffer from choice paralysis. If you give me too many choices, I kind of just, I don't know what to create.
Yep. And it's kind of running with that idea that if you give people choices, they're going to become paralyzed. So what you do is you give them flashbulb points in their backstory. And then you go, explain. That's the character creation of it. And you can see this idea happen in science as well. A really good example of this is one of my favorite discoveries of all time. Do you guys know what iPSCs are?
No.
Not by initials, I might.
I'll give the full name and let's see if you know that one. Induced pluripotent stem cells.
No, I do not.
Just vaguely.
So, I'll break down what each word means. Induced is you caused it to be this. Pluripotent means that it becomes any type of cell that you want it to become. Stem cell is a cell that can be differentiated into a bunch of different types of cells. So, induced pluripotent stem cells are a somatic cell, think a skin cell, that then you turn into a stem cell that can become any type of cell within the body.
Hey, Sanguine.
Yep.
I, as interested as I am in your Transformer skin cell topic, as host of the show for the evening.
Are we at the end?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and close it off.
So
we've
I'll
hit the
talk
hour
about-
mark. You know how I am.
Yep. So I'll talk about IPSCs tomorrow. If
There you
anyone
go.
wants
Hey,
to
yeah.
join in the conversation.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, you wanna continue? You wanna hit the? Do you wanna know more? With this beneficial, skin essential, progress. Check out Sanguine tomorrow at the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
Same channel, different time, but reasonable time. And it's Friday too.
Same zoo channel, different zoo time.
There you go. Once again, let me clarify. I was covering for Johnny Hellcat. He had the stomach bug, I think. But he asked me to cover for him, so that's what I'm doing. My name is Adam, and you can find me covering on Mondays and hanging out at the zoo. And you can also find my show, and I'll be hanging out at the Adam Arcade. But since we're closing this show, I'd like to go through and thank again my guests for hanging out. Miss Angela.
Anytime.
Thank you
Feel
again.
better, Johnny, and have a good night, everybody.
Tyr.
Anytime, my friend.
Wonderful, wonderful. I want to thank everybody for joining
Oh,
us.
I see how it is. I don't get named. He goes to the two of you, but Sanguine just fuck Sanguine.
Whole billboard bit of hey, go check out his. Okay.
So before I give my parting words, I'm just going to comment on something Cannibalistic Wizard said. With hey, great game, y'all. See you in session 6. Let's hope we leave character creation this time. I legit had 4 sessions of Traveler before we left character creation. It was amazing. I loved it. But I'll leave off with my standard of if you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you. And join in tomorrow. I'll be keepering as per usual on Fridays. And it will be the usual bits of bullshit, banter, and just blather. So should be a good show.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. And you'll be getting some decent recipe menu going on for it too. So.
Oh yeah, I always talk about food at least a little bit.
A little bit. It's always tasty. But hey, that's a see, it's odd closing out a Thursday show. Sorry, Johnny.
Yep.
I don't know how what's he do? Meow 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 meow. Meow meow.
Was anyone else expecting him to go into Meow Mix when he started that?
Meow 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 meow.
Happy Thursday night evening, everyone. The zoo is closed, and I love you all, and God bless.
Have a good night, all.
Good night.
Where is the outro?
Minions of the Zoo is brought to you in part by viewers like you, and in partnership with Sanguine Airlines, Fly Sanguine Airlines, and in wonderful Minion Vision. Minion Vision. Mm-mm. Mm.